can skip this one and put hope for the future. So I drew something for you, which is kind of like a riddle. What do you think this means? Decision making. Could be.
Like everybody agrees except for one person, or everybody synchronizes except for one person. So one person stands out somehow.
Can you relate with this? Have you ever had to say no when everybody was saying yes?
Yes.
How was it? Nice. Nice. Out in the streets. It was nice. Yes, I remember. Last fall. This has a name, and it's very common in our target group, so in schools. When you really want to say no, but because everybody around you says yes, sometimes it's very, very difficult. Do you know what's the name? Exactly. It's peer pressure. Have you ever heard about peer pressure? Of course. Can we try to find an agreement about what peer pressure means? Let's try to define it a little bit. What would you say is peer pressure? Peer. Peer means, yeah, somebody.
When everybody in a group of people, the majority of the people believe in one thing and agrees in one thing, and maybe there is a person that don't, and they try to, I don't know, make fun of the different one and try to pressure him to change the opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as we have different values, like we saw before, but we communicate them and we respect them, we have no problem, right? But when somebody tries to push their values on your values, we might start to have a problem. Did you encounter this in your life, in your work? Can you give us some examples? What kind of peer pressure have you faced, or the people you work with?
Yes, in high school there is a lot of peer pressure coming from the majority of teenagers over a minority of teenagers. For example, in my class, when they all agreed to skip a certain class, and there was only one person that wouldn't skip that class, the peer pressure was so powerful that made the person who wouldn't to go away with the others.
Okay. So it works. Yes. Any other examples? So skipping class.
Drug taking.
Drug taking.
Mainly, in my case, it was drinking. Everybody does it. Why not? So that is why I agree with the definition, but also sometimes it's not so obvious. It doesn't have to have the real pressure of the other saying, "Hey, you should do it." It just you see that everybody does it, and you don't have this will to do it.
It's very important distinction, because many times you are not even aware that things are happening. You might just feel from the inside that you have to do. You might even confuse it with your own wish. And so it's kind of like this. When everybody around you says yes, and you actually want to say no, but it's hard or it's almost impossible to do it. So is it good or bad, peer pressure?
Can be both.
It's another very important point to make. Can you give me an example of good peer pressure?
It's good for teenagers to establish their identity and to feel attached to the group.
Okay. And yeah, because I'm with the rising hand thing, and I don't know. So yeah, it could be good, for instance, when there is maybe one person having a bad attitude towards another peer, and sometimes it happens like the rest of the group kind of push this person to apologize or to be like, it could be the opposite way around, but it happens in a positive way as well. Like, so this person control himself or
Becomes
herself
responsible
of
his own actions because of the group. If you take, for example, bullying, you have one person that bullies the rest, but if the group decides to do something about it, usually things change. But sometimes they don't. So, in order to explore a little bit more the peer pressure, we're gonna work a little bit in 4 teams. And what you will have to do, I'm going to give you a piece of paper where you will have a situation, okay? A situation that might happen in every school or every young person's life. What you have to do in your team is to try to find in which way would peer pressure manifest itself. Did you ever notice that if one team starts to put the chairs back, then you kind of feel like, time is up, I have to do it as well. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to come in front as a team. You're going to read to us the situation, and you're going to tell us what kind of peer pressure issues you found there, okay? And one of you can also write them down around here. What kind of form of peer pressure did you found in the text, or did you imagine that might happen in that situation? Okay? So whoever wants to start, you have the floor. So, they're gonna read the situation